Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Monday, October 15th, 2012. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, this is a really big day, not only because we have a new moon, but we have the moon conjuncting Saturn today in Scorpio. So this is a two-part energy day. This is a big unveiling. Number one, let's start with that new moon. The new moon in Libra today. This is where there has been so much energy. Libra, we had Saturn in here for 3 years. It just moved out. Now we have the moon and sun conjuncting for us to get our emotions, our feelings, and feel the expression of the peace, of the harmony we want in our lives. This is time for us to take a deep look emotionally and become aware of exactly the kind of partnerships we want in our life and send this out to the universe. You have to look at your partnerships, and this is more than just relationships, but we'll start with relationships first. How much are you putting in? How much are you getting back? Is that balance? It's pretty simple with Libra, although the funny thing about Libra is it's so intellectual, making the decision is always the hardest. It's as simple though as just looking at the scales and being like, yes, it's balanced, okay, just like when you were back at school and used to play with scales. You know what? If you realize and you finally face it today, you're in a relationship where you're not getting back what you put in, you gotta go. It's just gonna keep on bringing you disharmony. Also, looking at other things like your career, your home, whatever it may be, what are you putting in? What are you getting back? Is it fair? Friendship-wise, are you putting this in and you're getting it back? Boom, there you know. Right away, it's very simple yet very complicated because hammering down with a decision is not a Libra thing to do, but it's a psychological, spiritual putting out to the universe on this new moon of exactly, this is the kind of partnerships I want. These are the contracts I want to end. Don't be afraid to ask God if you're not into connecting to God, if you're not into talking to the universe. Try it out today. Send out to the universe and be like, I'm done with this contract of that job, of that person. And we're not talking about marriage contracts. We're not talking about career contracts. We're talking about spiritual contracts here. Are these connections that you can't be with anymore because they're not balanced? You have to send it out there. You have to send it out there. Now let's look deep at that moon. So the moon touches here in Libra, and it goes into wanting to feel this very good, harmonious place, really emotional over relationships that have left, new ones that have begun, present ones that you're in. Guess what? We move into Scorpio. The moon goes into Scorpio tonight and conjuncts Saturn. So we go to some serious business. And this is the first time we are feeling Saturn in Scorpio in over 29, 30 years. So this day is going to be an impacting day. You will feel it. And most importantly, you're going to feel where the work is now. We are digging deep into emotional, psychological, deep-seated, rooted issues. This is the root chakra, the very bottom spot. You can't dig any deeper. And you know what we're doing? We are looking at what are the blocks from us receiving. What are the walls we put up? This also has to deal with intimacy. Intimacy with yourself, your own spiritual self, with your relationships. Now, let's say it's balanced, but how much are you willing to really connect and commit to and be intimate? It's a lot like sex. And I'm going to bring up sex because Scorpio sex. When you're having sex with somebody, and you're taking off their clothes, you can feel if it's down or not. Really good sex is like, oh my gosh, all the clothes are off, boom, bam, most beautiful connecting. You gave 100% to each other, and it was, ah. When you're with somebody and they're a little weird about taking off the clothes, they're blocking off. They're wanting to stop early. They're looking at the TV. I'm not saying that's ever happened to me. Just throwing a little comedy in here. But anyway, this is how we know deep inside of how much we are willing to give in our lives. Are you kind of shying off a little bit, not wanting all the clothes off? Is there a little bit of fear? What is that fear? And looking deep at the graves in our life. Scorpio is ruled by Halloween, so let's use this. We have issues that we bury, like our dead people. We just bury them, pardon my French, put up a little tombstone and just call it a day and come back and put some flowers whenever we want and kind of forget about it. Let's be real. That's real. Maybe not you. Maybe you really love that loved one and you go to that grave every day and you pray to them. But let's be honest, in humanity, we tend to take things trash, bury it in the landfill, and peace out. Guess where we're going back? We're going back to the landfills. We're going back to the graveyards of our own subconscious, of our own life. And we got to face it. But you know what? It's more scary to be outside the landfill or outside of that graveyard and be like, I don't know what's over there. Oh my God, there might be 15 zombies. I don't want to go back over there. We have to go back there because we unveil what's really there. You'll realize, oh my gosh, there's only one zombie, there's one vampire, and we're all chill. Just make sure you got the shotgun, hit him in the head, and I'll get the vampire, I got the stake. We're good to go. And you know what? Those were the two vampires and zombies that were getting in between something deep that we hid behind. What did you hide deep inside your soul? What is blocking you from harmony? What is blocking you from love? What is blocking you from serving yourself better? What is the psychological issue with Mercury and Scorpio right now that is getting in your head and messing with everything? Do you feel like you're going insane? Well, let's look at the reason why. It's not that you are. This is a period where the unveiling can make us go crazy, make us feel really intense, dark energy like hate, jealousy. But the truth is we can also come into a life-transforming energy, which is facing this stuff, which is going deep, which is having a beautiful sexual relationship. Oh my gosh, there's nothing more beautiful than that, and I will tell you that straight up. But you got to be willing to take off all your clothes and be bare and be exposed and be willing to scratch the back and be able to go deep into this. Now we have Mars in Sagittarius right now. It is trining Uranus. This is really building up. We're all excited. We want to go on our journeys. We want to reinvent ourselves and take it on the new journey. Yet if you're feeling this intense pressure in your life to want to go where you want to go and you can't, let's look at the rules of your life. Let's look at if you're holding on to an old structure, if you're holding on to old patterns. Are you holding on to very conservative views? Long story short, it's so funny to see this Pluto-Uranus square because it is literally the Democrat, Republican, and all of us that is fighting. You want to step into this new democratic self, which is very free, wanting to try new things, really kind of not paying attention to the old rules and just going with this new self. And then you got this old rule conservative place in your life which is unsure if you want to leave the 9 to 5 to try your new business because mom always told you to do it and grandma did. You have to step up to the plate and go through this shake. The world's going to shake you right now. Yes, be a little bit crazy and different. Make sure that you're leaving behind the old structure, but make sure that it's not just, it's little by little. It's this very hard shakeup. And Mars taps into this Uranus spot, which is ready for the adventure, ready to search for knowledge, ready to go. But that new unique self must be built on the reinvention of yourself, which is leaving behind those old patterns, that old conservative view in your life. I'll be real with you. This is the new paradigm, not the old. So the old way to do things is dying. I'm sure you can go and look around in the world and start to realize that, well, everybody's always had $500 in my bank account here, and everybody's always had this and that, and do. It's changing. It's totally changing. And the more you hold on, the more you can't break free to your new spot in your life. And you're needing deep in yourself to feel warmth and not let the details take you over. Venus in Virgo right now is like, oh my gosh, wanting to feel expressing warm, but it's like an analytical storm of like how to express yourself. Well, do I need to do it this way, that way, this way? Does this need to happen in order to feel good? And then that, I could do the whole Virgo thing, but you understand. And it's starting to square Jupiter, so it's a lot of questions. There's this glass half full, but then there's the denying of, well, is it really half full? A lot of denial now coming in to feel warm. You want to feel warm, but you're like Santa Claus doing the checklist like, well, Billy was bad, so he's not going to get anything. But you have to make sure that this isn't you in your life. You need to make sure that you're finding your optimism, that you're serving yourself better, that you're serving others better. And last thing I want to leave with is Mars just squared Chiron, which are wounds. There's like this intense energy of like these old spiritual wounds, especially because we're in partnership. Maybe you won't leave the partnership because you're too wounded and you're afraid of feeling more wounded. And that's the sign of somebody that's not living in their balance and harmony. If it's not working out, it's not working out, that's done. You want to sign new contracts with a beautiful new boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, you got to leave the old one and treat it as if, sorry, it didn't work out. You can still be friends, do whatever you want to do. But until you move out of that energetic energy, which I'll be honest with you, it's a couple months away from us truly having this, I'm just giving you the energy of why you're feeling this way and how you can start working off it. Is you have to start making the conscious awareness in your own head, in your own self, and go back to that graveyard that we talked about. So this is a wild day. Like I said, we're coming out of the jacuzzi, and this is what I meant on my weekend forecast. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. What this weekend was about, but we feel the new shift. Monday is the start of our whole new life that I was prepping you for the last couple weeks. And make sure you get out this morning exactly what it is you want for peace and harmony. Ask the universe. Don't be afraid to ask. If you ask God for a hamburger with no cheese, expect a hamburger with no cheese to come back. By the way, I hate cheese. I'm not a cheese guy, so I ask for it with no cheese. God always brings me in my life everything I asked for, because I asked for it with no cheese, and I knew it would come back without it. Check out my website, david-palmer.com. I've got my 1-hour readings on sale this week because I know this is a crazy week. I want to hook everybody up. Get a 1 hour with me, and you get a free 15-minute follow-up with it. I'm bringing that sale back. I did it last month. It was really popular. A lot of people love it because after you do the one-on-one reading with me at a discounted rate, you then get whenever you want. When life brings you another crazy thing, you can call me, set an appointment, get a free 15-minute follow-up with me. So check out my website, david-palmer.com. Also, go to my store, the MP3 store for my MP3s. I got my $9.95 Back to the Root MP3s for each sun sign. And guess what? My new Saturn and Scorpio MP3s. Go check it all out at david-palmer.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow in my Halloween costume at the graveyard. Just kidding. Bye.